Hi everyone, and welcome to PrimeTime Cruisers. If this is your first time here, welcome aboard. If you've been here before, thank you so much for stopping by again. If you like the content you see here today, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It would really help us out. So have you ever been on a cruise and thought to yourself, I should have brought that? Well, it happens to me all the time, and today I am going to give you the top 10 things that I think that you might forget but might need. From something that might be obvious to something that's going to really shock you. Stay tuned to the end so that you don't miss that one. Let's get right to it. So something I know that most people think of if they're packing for a cruise is hooks. But we sometimes tend to forget that they are so much more useful than just to hang up something. These will decorate your doors. Most of the walls and doors are magnetic, but they do need a strong magnet. So you will want one of these hooks to hang up lights or any decoration on your door. But also there's a really neat trick where if the peephole in your room is bugging you at night, the light shining through hits the bed, then these are a great little thing to have because you hang it right above the peephole and cover it up. So definitely don't forget. Now they aren't super strong. We bought like really heavy duty ones, and even then we tried it. We didn't have the need to try it on the ship, so maybe they are better on a stronger magnet like the walls. But here they weren't that great on our like fridge and stuff like that. It didn't hold that much weight. So just keep in mind that for decoration purposes or hanging something light might be a great thing to have. Don't forget it. Okay, so something else that you might not think of is a nightlight. Now the light switches on the ship tend to be outside of the room, or at least on Carnival it was. We definitely benefited from having a nightlight in there that allowed us to walk in, close the door, turn on the nightlight, and be able to use the bathroom without bugging anybody else. Now this one, see, it's strong. Okay, anyway, this one's super strong, and it did the trick for the bathroom, and this was just at the Dollar Tree, and in the back it just carries 3 batteries, which we also got at the Dollar Tree, so easy peasy. For $2.50 you have yourself a nightlight. If you don't like the on-off switch, you could find something else, you know, one of those tap-on things, but this worked for us. Now, there are some of us that are more prone to getting sick than others, but if you're traveling during the winter season and there's a lot of flu and colds going around, you will want to have medicine, because as we've experienced from viewing other people's channels, when they tell you that they go to medical and how much the bill is just to get seen and tested and stuff, it's going to cost you. So if you want to try to take care of yourself, if you know that it's just a simple cold or anything like that, then you might want to bring your own medicine. We have Emergency here, something like it, some pain medicine, some cold medicine, small bottles, enough to get you by. They do have a store in the ship where you can purchase some of these items, but of course they're going to be higher priced and everything. If you do tend to get prone to sickness often, then have it in mind to maybe purchase some medicine beforehand and take it on with you. Speaking of medicine and getting sick, a thermometer is such a good idea, because you don't know if you have a fever, you don't know if you have to treat it, if it's not high or this or that, or if it's getting serious. If you need to go to the medical center, you need to know by testing out your temperature. So having one of these bad boys, and I'm dead. Okay, let's try that again. There you go, 99.1. I have a fever. It might just be all the lights. But anyway, no, it's just to raise temperature. I know that sometimes we get, that's another video for another day, is taking too much with you. And I would make a list of things that I personally think are just unnecessary. But I think that something like this could be, if you're with people who are more prone to sickness, get sick easily, children, you know, it's nice to know when they're not feeling well so that we could take better care of them and still enjoy our vacation. Something that you might leave behind is earbuds or headphones. Wireless headphones are preferable, especially nowadays. You don't, and with kids they break everything, so it's better to have them wireless if you like them like that. The only reason being is that a lot of these cruises are not allowing portable speakers anymore, and you're not supposed to have your videos on. And it's just common courtesy anyway, in my opinion. Like, I really do prefer that. But I know that that's a sore topic for some of you, but I do suggest that you don't forget your earbuds or headphones or anything if you have downloaded material on your phone that you want to look or watch or listen to, or music or anything like that. Have you ever been on a ship and then the moment it starts sailing off or whatnot, it starts like, and all of a sudden that first dinner, you're kind of like woozy and everything? Something that you might forget is to take some sort of motion sickness medicine with you, or the wristbands. I've never tried the wristbands myself, but there is Bonine and there is Dramamine, and there are store versions of it as well. Dramamine is the only one I usually take. Bonine was given to me as a suggestion, and I haven't had a chance to try it. And luckily, this last cruise, I didn't need either one of them. So sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't, but it's good to have in case anybody in your party suddenly gets the case of motion sickness, because you don't always know that you're going to get it until you get it. And it's really hard to find some of this stuff. With the medicine, I ended up getting sick on my last cruise, and it was very annoying because I didn't know. First of all, they didn't tell you. It wasn't an easy find to know that there was medicine on board, because we had been to all the shops except the liquor store, because we had just walked on by. We don't drink, and therefore we didn't know that that is where they sell the medicine. So I went quite a few days of just like feeling and miserable because we didn't know where they sold medicine. So it wasn't until we got to Cozumel that we stopped at one of the little stores and bought myself some medicine, which was of course double the price from home, because they're going to take advantage of the tourists. So have that in mind. Now this one is more for the old timers, but there's also a reason why you might want to consider having it. So when you get your little schedule on board the ship, this was ours from the Carnival ship, the Fun Times, you see that we highlighted the activities that we were interested in. So my suggestion is take a highlighter. You might think, okay, well, the app gives you the schedule and you can select the things and star the things or heart the things that you are interested in doing. But how about if your phone is dying? How about if you're about to go to the pool and you don't want to take your phone? How about if you just are old-fashioned and like to have a paper that you could dig out of your pocket or your purse that has a schedule on it? Sometimes we go on a cruise, and a lot of you don't take the internet package because it's expensive, but a lot of you don't take it because you're going to disconnect. That is the whole idea of a cruise, is to completely disconnect from the world and just be able to just, enjoy your time on the ship. So if you're constantly looking at a phone for reminders and updates and notifications about what you're doing or what's next, it might not be for you. If it is for you, great. But if it's not, consider taking a highlighter, because it doesn't take up much space and you can highlight the activities you're interested in. I showed you 3 colors because you could color code them to the people in your room. You could have the pink be for the kiddos. You can have, the yellow be for you, or so on. We personally did end up using the app a lot, but honestly, old-fashioned can sometimes be better. So I did tell you that we did get sick last time. And one thing that we also suffer from a lot is allergies. My kid has terrible allergies at times, and so she always seems to need a tissue. So I do suggest that if you have anybody in your family that constantly needs to blow their nose, or if you think that you do get sick often and like to have these, I would suggest you get these travel size ones that you can just stick in a crossbody bag or a purse or fanny pack, whatever, so that you have it with you as you are going around the ship in case you need it. Because at least in my experience, we came across some paper towels and hand washing stations, but we didn't really come across any tissues anywhere. We did go through every single one of the packs we did take, which was about just like 4 or something, but keep that in mind. Consider taking these. All right, so we are approaching the end of our top 10 list, but this one to me is probably my biggest one. Now, I personally need a fan. I need the white noise, and Dan needs the circulation, and so it is important for us to have a fan. Last time we took our little electrical fan, our Honeywell, and we accidentally plugged it in to the European outlet with the proper adapter, but the voltage is actually different on that. So we zapped our fan almost instantly. The smoke smell came, yeah. So please be careful about voltage and your product. So it was 3 days into the cruise when this happened. And so we reached out to the steward, and he said that more than likely they didn't have extra fans to give out because it was already 3 days into the cruise, but that if he did find one, he would bring it on up. So about an hour later, they came a knocking, and they did have a fan, thank goodness. And I think it was like Air King or something like that, and that one works wonders. So if you're able to get one on the cruise, I suggest you do. But if you can't, you can also purchase one. This is a battery operated one that we got for a hurricane season. We weren't expecting that hurricane, and it came through Amazon. Amazon delivered, and thankfully it helped us through those hurricane days. However, this could be something that could work for you, battery operated, because it's smaller and it still makes plenty of noise and has a good long battery life. But there aren't a lot of outlets on the ship, so it might not be easy for you to be constantly charging it every night. As a bonus to our top 10 is an adapter. The only reason I didn't really include that in my top 10 is because a lot of the ships are banning these. And so this one came recommendation of somebody, and they did allow it on the Carnival cruise. However, I know that they are having issues with that. But electrical outlets are really hard to find in the stateroom. When they push the beds together for you to make a king size bed, the outlet that's there is gone. So then we really only had what was on top of the vanity. Not only that, they do have these types right here where they adapt to the European outlets, and then allow you to connect see the different types of outlets that you need. There's US, there's UK, and there's European. I don't know what the difference is between some of these, but oh, okay, that's interesting. We never needed that one. We didn't need the UK one, but this one is the one that we can use there, that Zaptor fan. So just have that in mind. But anyway, it does give you USBs at the bottom, and even the C1 USB. So these are great if they allow it. So I didn't include it technically in my top 10 list, but it's there. It's there. Okay, so are you ready? We are on our last one, and this is the one that I think you might definitely not think of. So when you are on vacation, especially if you're going to the Caribbean and stuff, you might think that you are going to be hanging out and wearing whatever shoes you want, and most of the time you might think to yourself, flip-flops, open-toed shoes will work great. But guess what? If you want to enjoy some of the things that they have on the cruise ship, closed-toed shoes is actually required. So we suggest having closed-toed shoes. Now these are like rubber shoes, so these are great because they don't stay wet. So if you get them wet, you just kind of dry them up or whatever. So these are great. On the Carnival ship, they have a rope course, and they also have the sky coaster thing. And both of those required closed-toed shoes. I actually couldn't ride any of that stuff while I was there because I like open-toed shoes. I like my little toesies to be free. So I have like these Crocs that have open-toed areas in the front and this and that. So anyway, it was a whole thing. Actually, I remembered that I had water shoes that were closed, and they allowed me to use those, because if not, I would not have been able to experience either one of those. So there are activities that do require closed-toed shoes for safety. I'm not even sure, maybe the fitness room probably does too. I just didn't notice that when I was there, if that was one of their rules. These little Crocs, these are like cute little Crocs. Okay, so anyway, these little Crocs or whatever are just an imitation of real Crocs. But anyway, if they have this backing, at least on Carnival Cruise, this was considered a closed-toed shoe, and they did allow it. But just keep that in mind for sure. You know, not just flip-flops, not just sandals. Keep a pair of shoes. To me, this was seriously the most shocking one. I didn't think, and I hope it helps you. I know that the list is probably endless, and that my list might not be what works for you. But if you know of any other ones that you're like, girl, you forgot something very important, please, please, please let me know in the comments down below. I definitely want to hear it, and we can have a back and forth about different things that you might think of, because honestly, the list could go on. I'm a packer, but we also came back with a lot of things that we never use. So keep that in mind to think of what are your needs for your family and for the people that you're with, and pack accordingly. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We hope to see you back again. I'd love to see this channel grow. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the seas.